Welcome again, everybody, to another episode of Call Me Mr. Broadstreet. So today I figured I'd give some of my thoughts on the upcoming Paul McCartney and Wings book that's going to be due out November 5th of this year. So it's going to be up on the screen, obviously, and, the story of Band on the Run. Now, first of all, the cover art. I've got to be honest, I prefer the UK cover art versus the blue and yellow US cover art. That's my own personal preference. And I'm hoping with the book itself that it's going to kind of really fill in a lot of gaps for the more casual fan that where Wingspan kind of failed. I mean, Wingspan was 2001. Yes, it's a wonderful CD set that had a wonderful book with it, wonderful documentary, much about Paul and Linda, but very little really with Wings other than the archival footage. In other words, you don't get their perspective. You didn't get Denny Lane's perspective, really, or, Denny Sywell, Lawrence Juber, Steve Hawley, archival interviews with other members of the band. And they were a very, obviously, popular group, during the 70s. I think it's just going to be I hope it's really going to contain their perspectives as well, give a nice, well-rounded view, a comprehensive view with all the different photos and everything, and of course stories, and hopefully some things we haven't heard before or haven't seen before during the Wings run from 1971 all the way to 1979. So that's kind of my take on it, at least, with that. Now, the other part of this video, of course, is just showing off some rarities and stuff like that. Well, not really rarities, but, things from my collection and everything that I've picked up recently. So, on to the first item right here. This is from Japan right here. Oh, what is it? What is it, you might be saying to yourself? Wait a minute. Well, I took the liberty of opening it, obviously. No More Lonely Nights 45 single right here. Now at the top you'll notice it says rental record. It's got a barcode right here. On the back it's got the Toshiba EMI right there. So, with this being a rental record barcode, my guess, and this is just purely a guess on my part, is that this must have been maybe from a library or something like that. I know that my library in town here, they still do rent physical media and stuff like that, DVDs and such. I think Boston Public Library used to do CDs and DVDs. I'm not sure they quite do that now with everything streaming, but you never know. You never know. But you see this right here, obviously, and then you've got the Japanese lettering, everything like that. It's really cool to have that as part of the collection versus, of course, the more standard version right here, as you can see between the two. But, again, even with the back right here, you get the Columbia label, white backing, and you get the Toshiba label right here. So very cool to have. It's not in mint condition or everything, but you know what? Love to have this. I'm happy to have that as part of my collection. Got that off of eBay, so thank you very much to the seller all the way from Japan who sent that. Now, the next two items, Shanks, I have to give you a shout out and a mention because these were for free. A friend of mine down in the D.C., Virginia area, old college friend, got these a little while back. Well, one was a little while back, the other one was this week. This one, pretty sure I've shown this before. Welcome Back, Beatles. 1977 spring, right here. So kind of a little fantasy story in the beginning. It's got, of course, some of the... it's got some couple solo pictures in here, I think. Hold on one second. Should have had this bookmarked, right? But hey, you know what? You can tell this is live, because... Oh yeah, right here. There we go. Is that Michael Stipe or is that Ringo Starr right there? And look very different in the 1970s, of course. Now the second one I got, this one is Spring 1978. Welcome Back, Beatles. Another kind of volume in the series. Again, another fantasy story, and in fact, this fantasy story that's included for the first, 8 pages or so really has basically an idea of the Beatles getting back together, and, it's basically, but it has been a busy 50 years, hasn't it? Jibed musical wizard Paul McCartney on the occasion of Beatle John Lennon's half-century. So basically, speculating about 12 years from that point into the future, John would be turning 50, there'd be some sort of reunion concert, and then, of course, the rest of this just sort of, pictures and stuff like that from the group from their heyday in the 1960s. So both very nice pieces to have. Shanks, thank you so much Free is the best price, but of course they're very treasured. They're going to be part of the ever-growing collection here, the archives, as I like to call them. Here's a couple more items, real quick, just basically as part of a VHS that I got. So when I did the last video reviewing the Broad Street VHS tapes, there was one from 1991 that was kind of a little harder to find that I got as part of this entire collection. So from a gentleman in Massachusetts, very much appreciated. So these other ones came with it. This is just part of the collection here. We've got Yellow Submarine right here. Yes, this one is actually sealed. So eventually I may get one of those fancy acrylic cases for it. Packaging 1987. I don't know if the camera's really going to pick up on that. But again, just kind of a very nice little, nice little, I don't know, sort of nostalgic piece to have, with this, what I might have seen back in the days in the mom and pop video stores. Now, these next two are from Ringo Starr's, All-Star Tours. And don't know if these are ever going to be reissued or archived or whatever, because I'm sure the music rights can be a bit of an issue. First of all, right here, Ringo Starr and his All-Star Band. This is from 1989. Let's see, right there, we got the featuring right there. More credits below, and then of course, if we go ahead and over to focus in, you can see everybody. I know there's a little camera glare. Bear with me, everybody, but you can sort of see the cast of characters right there. And a nice cast of songs and everything like that. So, again, would this be nice to have on a streaming or a DVD or Blu-ray or something like that? Yes. Will it ever get an official release? Re-release, rather? Doubtful, I think. But it's always nice to dream, I'm a completist that way. What can I say? Then finally, Ringo Starr in his All-Star Band live from Montreux. I can never pronounce. There we go. This is from this is copywritten 1993, so you kind of get, I think, a lot of the same suspects, but of course, the All-Star Bands would always have a little bit of turnaround with various guests and everything like that. Just a preview of some of the songs there and all that. Also featuring one Mr. Zach Starkey. Zach Starkey. Given the most recent news, I wonder who would hire him as a drummer. I know. Full of bad jokes, but that was the recent news. The supposed firing, rehiring. I don't know what's going on quite in the Who camp with that one. But hey, God bless if they've sorted it out. Wonderful for them. So that's just a little taste of some things. And again, just a couple thoughts about the book and everything like that. I will be seeing everybody in the next video. And until then, take care of each other.